Hi there, I'm Miranda, and I wanted to share with you my experience of Kundalini Awakening. So I wanted to make this video while it was still really fresh, as a few days ago. And I'm very lucky because my husband is an energy healer here at Heart-Based Healing Center. And so I've received a lot of energy healing, particularly in the last year or two. But today I just wanted to share the actual experience with you. So when I'm receiving a healing from Scott, I often feel the energy moving through my body. And I am a regular meditator. I've been meditating for 5 years, and I do kind of drop into a deep kind of meditative state when I'm experiencing a healing, and I just kind of, feeling the energy as it moves through. And that's often been a really kind of healing, beautiful experience for me. But this particular day, which was a few days ago, from right away in the energy healing, the energy was much more intense. There was an event that led up to this a few days before, so check out the other video. But basically what happened is I felt an incredible surge of energy from my root chakra come right up through my body. And at the same time, I seemed to just explode. My heart and my being just seemed to expand beyond measure. And in that moment, the biggest realization that I had was just, I am love. I am all powerful beyond measure. I am creator. I am joy. I am compassion. It was just a huge feeling, and known about this I am from yogis and gurus, and never really quite grasped that concept. And in that moment, I just embodied everything and love, just love. I am love. We are all love. And I had that realization beyond measure. The energy was coursing through me. I would have periods where I would experience the massive, intense energy. And then I would go into this kind of feeling of intense gratitude and bliss and just ecstasy. And I would kind of be in that state for some time. And then I would be back again with the energy. I experienced some amazing visuals. At one point, my energy went through me, through the earth. It kind of came up the other side of the earth. What I assumed, what I felt was India, with a man on a mountainside, and he said to me, "Don't be afraid." And the next thing I know, I was in this kind of void, and I saw a kind of ring of light. And I moved, I felt like I was moving into the ring of light. And then I was in another kind of void where I felt, I was in connection with, I felt the energy of my father who's passed a long time ago. And I was just reveling in this feeling of love and connection with him, and just reveling in that moment and that love. And then I felt other entities, spirits, which were, they felt like my tribe. It was beyond my family. It was kind of a sense of belonging to these huge kind of entity of spirit. It was also a profoundly healing experience. So at one point, my stomach, and I've often had real digestive issues. Like I've experienced huge trauma and stress in my life, and I've had this constant kind of clenching in my stomach. And at one point, my stomach literally just felt like it just lifted up out of my body, and it just expanded with this golden light. And then it just kind of expanded, and then it went back into my body. But it felt like an incredible healing experience. And there was other healing energies that I was kind of feeling through it. It lasted, so it started when I was actually having my energy healing. And at the end of my energy healing, I was still going. And Scott had left the room, and I just stayed there just experiencing this divine connection. And by the time that I actually got up off the table again, that was 3 hours had gone by, and I had just felt like no time at all. And I had this experience afterwards where I was almost like I was drunk or high or something. And I kept dropping back in. Like I would have periods where all of a sudden my mind would just kind of go, well, everything would go quiet. It would go kind of blank, and I'd just be kind of back in the void. One of my realizations was about identity. It's just, I had this very clear understanding that we are not our identities at all. And I know I've known that before kind of intellectually, but I feel its embodiment now. I feel that deeply within myself. Afterwards, all I could do really was sit. I didn't feel capable of doing a huge amount. I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to particularly interact with other people. I couldn't really string a sentence together afterwards. So it was probably a good idea that I was on my own. So that was my experience. I'm going to share some learnings about Kundalini Awakening that I've had since that time, and I'll put those out on a separate video. So if you like this content and you'd like to see more, please check out the other videos. Please hit like and subscribe to Heart-Based Healing if you're interested in hearing more. Thank you.